What's going on, family? It's Brother Coasty here at IALG.com. We're always building bridges within to explore the world without. And today is the beginning of a series I'm going to do. I have my notes here as always. It's going to be a 5-part series. And you might, if you've done some deep diving into some of my videos, you'll know that I've kind of covered this before, but they're all out of order. I'm going to just let you know, if you're looking at any of my old videos, like before 2021 or shoot, you won't know the actual date. You'll know, you can see the way I present myself, how I'm talking, how I'm acting. You'll see the old Jordan versus the new Jordan of Brother Coasty. And yeah, so basically today's is day one of a 5-day series or just a topic. And we're probably going to expand on it. But this is all about you versus you. You versus you. And this is the most important battle, right? This is really the epoch. This is the top level of conflict in most people's lives, right? So let's dive into it for just a second and just kind of talk about the overall idea of it, this whole series, and then we're going to get into today's particular topic. So this series, to me, is all about the self-mastery series. It's all about self-mastery. That's why we're here in the first place. We're here to master self. And one of the components of self is the mind. It's the mind. And we really have 3 different bodies. Really, there's technically like 5 or 7. But we're going to just talk about the main 3. And that's going to be the mental body, the emotional body, and the physical body. Right? And when we're talking about you versus you, it is your higher self or your what you know to be correct, that innate wisdom, that innate intelligence versus the ego or the brain or the conditioning that this world has put you in. And I'll do topics on these eventually, because we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to unpack. And I'm just going to let you know straight up, you can learn as much as you can off my channel. A lot of this is hands-on work. A lot of this is things that you're going to have to either have the right intuition unlocked, have a lot of the work done already for you to really grasp a deeper knowledge behind some of the things that I say. I'm not saying it encrypted. It is just naturally encrypted because your DNA has been in lockdown mode. The codes that are innate in you have been shut down. And it's up to you to master yourself so that some of those codes are unlocked. And once they're unlocked, your brain, your way of seeing, your pineal gland will actually expand in their awareness. And that expanded awareness allows you to experience a whole different reality, allows you to gain control over your reality, what you see, what you interact with, how you respond. So this topic is kind of like a overview of the mental sphere, right? So this is you versus you, okay? So number one, with you versus you, the topic today is all about releasing your expectations. Get rid of your expectations. Let them go. I'm going to read off the list and we're going to expound on it, right? So number one, you got to stop expecting people to not like you. You got to stop expecting people to not like you. I'm going to expand on it. Don't worry. Stop shifting and start being. Okay? What I like to say is stop changing, transform. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Those are the 3 main points of today, right? So number one, stop expecting people to not like you. These are limiting beliefs, and this might not be you in particular, but a lot of people have this thing about them, right? So they don't say certain things. They don't voice themselves. They're not as argumentative, or they're not as combative, or you could say they're not as assertive, because really that's what all those things really boil down to. It's all about assertiveness, being able to assert yourself. And that's a big issue for a lot of people. And a lack of assertiveness has 2 sides of it. The first lack of assertiveness is just being quiet. You don't say anything. The other side of it is being aggressive, which is not assertiveness, it's aggressiveness. A second, y'all, it must be some good stuff. Woo, that means somebody need that message bet. Somebody's really going to use this. This is awesome. So the other side of assertiveness is aggressiveness, and that's force, that's dominance. And yes, as men, we like to be dominant, but dominance is actually a very soft thing. Sounds crazy. I'm telling you, dominance is soft. Dominance is subtle. In order to dominate something, you don't dominate it physically. That's fear-based control. You dominate with the mind via inspiring and leading. That is true dominance. But conversation for another day. Let's get into it, y'all. Stop expecting people to not like you. This is projection. This is putting your insecurities onto other people and using that projected insecurity or that projected outcome as reason to stay at a lower state. I'm going to pause and let that digest for just a second. All right, cool. Pause the video, rewind it, watch it over and over again. I promise you, stuff, you miss it. I promise you, it's just what happens. So when you project how you think people are going to perceive you, what you end up doing is self-sabotaging your greatness. You self-sabotage the power that you actually have deep within yourself, deep within your cells. Lockdown. Remember, we're on lockdown right now. Light code lockdown. DNAs are on lockdown. And it's only until you recognize that you're in a prison, you're in a jail, you're in a cage, that you can actually escape it, because you tend to do things differently. You are seeking now a way out. You are seeking your own path. You're no longer conforming to your conditionings. Stop expecting people to not like you. Learn to just be who you are. You got to learn how to embrace yourself. You got to learn how to love yourself. You have to learn to just sit, breathe, and be you. Doesn't matter if you're not received, because guess what? Everybody's not received. Somebody somewhere does not like you, and it's okay. You can't expect everybody to like you. It's just not going to happen. It is what it is. I'm not religious, but shoot, people killed Jesus. People looked at Buddha crazy. Like all the ascended masters, everybody didn't like them. It is what it is. So stop expecting people to not like you. On the flip side of that, stop interjecting yourself onto people all the time to be accepted. Stop conforming to people so that they can like you. Just be who you are. That goes to the third point. That's your vibe attracts your tribe. You'll see it behind me. This is like my favorite little tapestry, and it's real deal Holyfield. This goes into the law of vibration, or the law of resonance, more than anything. Kind of goes into the law of hypnotic rhythm as well. But basically, the vibration that you put out draws certain things to you that are of the same vibration or of the same resonance. For the people that are not metaphysically inclined, your thoughts make your reality. So what you're thinking is fact. It will bring it to you. That is why your brain is one of the most important and powerful machines in the world. It's one of the most powerful things in the world. You know what it's always doing? It's always seeking an answer for a question that you ask it. Boom, that's crazy, right? So if you don't believe me, let me tell you, let me show you how it's working. And it's not always just question, it's just input that you put into it. So for example, if you wake up, you stub your toe, and you say, shit, today's going to be a bad day, guess what happens? The day is a bad day. And it's not because the day was going to be a bad day off rip. It's because you said it, you thought it, you believed it, and you felt it. And guess what? The language of the universe is feeling. Language of the universe is feeling. I know I speak fast, so you might want to slow the video down if I talk too fast. This is how I know when I'm channeling, when I'm flowing, because it just comes out and I can't control it. So that's it, y'all. That's it for that one, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay focused on the thought patterns that you're on. You gotta be focused on your brain signal, the brain wavelength that you're on. It's similar like having a radio station, right? So I'm in Houston. So we got 97.9 The Box, and I think 93.7. I don't know. I don't listen to music or radio and stuff, but it's like a radio station. Once you turn to that radio station, what do you hear? Everything that's on that radio station. But when you're not on that radio station, that station is still playing. You just can't hear it. And it's the same thing with your thoughts. When your thoughts are on a positive level, it doesn't mean that bad things don't happen. You just don't experience them because you're not on that level, and vice versa. You have a bad thought, or you keep your mind with bad stuff, bad things will happen to you doesn't mean good things don't exist. You're just not on that level to receive it. So you have to be aware of your thought patterns. You got to be aware of your brain. And a lot of the times, until you really start cultivating that inner awareness, that inner alignment and congruency, your expectations are typically negative expectations. You're expecting things to go poorly or badly, and that influences the outcome. I would encourage y'all to learn about the double slit experiment. And in short, the observer influences the outcome. And you are observing this reality, so you influence it with your thoughts. Okay? And the last thing is start shifting and start being you. This kind of goes into my program and my course, where a lot of times people are focused on changing, right? And change is never permanent. Change is never permanent. Changing is the shell. It's the external. That's what changes, essentially. And we know this is the case because what happens every year on December 31st, I'm going to get in shape this year. New Year's resolution, new year, new me. They change for 2 weeks. And then they go back to themselves. They go back to what's inside. See, they changed the outside. They put out these goals, but they didn't change the inside, right? So we got to go from changing to transforming. And in order to transform, you learn to just be, right? You stop shifting so much. You just are. You just are. And when you just are, when you be, a process naturally starts evolving. It's something that you just cannot help once you learn to just be who you are. And I know you're like, Jordan, what are you talking about? You're talking about transforming, but just be. Look, bruh. Look, ma'am. Look, sis. Life is the loud vibration. Nothing is stagnant. Everything is always moving. Okay? Your natural affinities, you and your pure essence, not you with all the BS and the expectations and the conditioning of our society on you. You and your pure essence, you are destined for greatness. You are destined for growth. Why? Because you are part of the universe, and the universe is ever expanding. It's always growing. It's always transforming, and you are part of that process. So once you tap back into yourself without all the extra crap and the BS, you are naturally in a growing, in a transforming state. You don't change, you transform, right? You don't have to transform. You don't have to change. You just transform. And then some people might say, well, that's the same thing. It's really not. And I don't have the wherewithal to really dive into that conversation with you. They're just two different things. Changing and transforming. Changing is temporary. Transformation is permanent. And all too often, people keep trying to get these quick fixes, which are just changes, but those changes never last. Transformation lasts. Okay? This is all about you versus you. We got to release the expectations on yourself, on life. Expectations are it's a state of responsiveness. It's a state of reactivity. You don't want to be in a reactive state when we're going through life. You want to be in a proactive state. Life is not happening to you. Life is happening for you. You are only one in your way. And that's why this is the You versus You series. So family, as always, if you want to keep going on this journey by yourself, I think you can absolutely do it. I'm just going to let you know it is 3 times as long, 3 times more headaches, and 3 times more expensive. I promise you, it's going to be 3 times more expensive. Or what you can do is you can take the shortcut. And the shortcut's not really a shortcut, but it's the extra assistance, the extra guidance. It helps you get unstuck, helps you get unconfused, helps you gain more clarity on your life and where you're going. And if you'd like that, I advise you to visit IALLG.com and book your free discovery call. I'm going to let everybody know until it's not there anymore. You wanted to do this ASAP. I'm going through some changes in the back office right now. And once these changes are done, the whole system, the whole layout is changing. And I want to give you all as much value as I can in this current paradigm, in this current state. Go to IALG.com. Go check us out. Book your free discovery call. Book it. And if you're more interested in really getting some real guidance, going on a journey into yourself and really getting rid of those limiting beliefs and figuring out what your values are, what you want to present to the world, whether you're just a spiritual seeker or maybe you're an entrepreneur trying to get an idea out of their head, I have a program I think you're interested in. I need you to, again, visit IALOG.com and book your free discovery call. All right, everybody, but that's it. That's it for episode 1 of You versus You. This is Brother 𝐁𝐫𝐴 at IALOG.com. We're always building bridges within to explore the world without. With that, peace.